you. Yeah. You ready?
Sally Joe, shall we start?
I think, yes, we'll light the candle. You want to ring the bell first?
Okay, my dear friends. Brother Bryce, is this working? Okay, my dear friends, let's do a few ahms or ohms. Deep breath. One more time. So, my dear friends, a very, very heartfelt welcome to you in this semicircles of love today. But some of you might be wondering, particularly my friends on the internet, what are we doing here? This is downstairs. Our furnace is not working, but we are very flexible. Now, I hope all of you know it by heart. Blessed are the flexible, for they will never be bent out of shape. Okay, so we're downstairs in the fellowship room, and I think this is, Saliju, where are you? I think this is the very first time we're having a service downstairs. So we had a service downstairs?
We had a medicine circle service.
No, but I mean a Sunday service.
No, it was a Sunday service.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, okay. So it's not that unique, but it's still unique. Quite. Okay, Sally Jo, please, you'll do the.
I think we're going to have. I wanted to have the welcoming music with everybody twice. So we'll have one piece of music, and then we'll go on with inviting.
Okay, let's give them a wonderful hand. Birgit and Phil.
Practice this tune. This is in Scandinavia. They have a custom of composing music for people that special events for births and for weddings and for birth. What is this, Philip?
It's a baptism.
Baptism.
Yeah, baptism.
And this was composed by a newly
Peter
composed
Tolroth.
for his granddaughter Josephine. So. Okay. So we move. Phil? Yeah, you bet.
Chris, you want this mic here? I got a mic here.
Oh, whichever you want. Good morning again from Interfaith Community Sanctuary. We welcome you to this extra special service. Thank you, Birgit and Phil Aegis. That was lovely as always. and I'm here to honor and welcome our ancestors. In many, many parts of our lives, really everywhere in our lives, we kind of stand on the shoulders of giants. Tomorrow is also a day of a giant in history, honoring Dr. Martin Luther King, and I'd like to honor all that have helped us to achieve more civil rights goals and be able to understand that all people deserve the same things that I do as a white man, and I believe that everybody should be allowed to worship, and I think that we achieve that goal and honor those things. I'd like to say thank you to our ancestors. We honor all of your struggles, and maybe we could take a brief moment of silence and think of those folks in our own lives and in our history that have gone before us and that we'd like to honor at this point. Thank you again, and I'd also like to acknowledge that this land that Interfaith Community Sanctuary sits on is originally ceded native land. It was, throughout its history, held sacred and used by the many peoples of the Coast Salish tribes, particularly here in Seattle, the Duwamish, the Muckleshoot, the Tlingit, many, many other native peoples that have crossed this land in Ballard, and as we are being broadcast everywhere in North America and South America and the world. There were native peoples that have been holding their land and the flora, the fauna sacred, and we want to acknowledge that that had happened and that we honor their struggles today. Our friend Sisinkle Laurel Boucher, I haven't done this for a little while, but I'd like to offer a prayer for not just our ancestors, but also the native peoples. What I'd like to do with you, and you can join me, and you can join me online as well, is place your hand over your heart, gather together there all that is sacred and helps make us people, gather all that together, and we're going to offer a gift to the Creator. And as we raise our hands up to offer that gift, the Creator hopefully will acknowledge that and maybe place a gift for us in our hands, and we can return it to our hearts. So I see that people in the room are doing that. Thank you very much. So one more time, again, take a breath, think about those things, and as we raise our hands, I'm going to say a word, and you can join me. And that word is aho. Deep breath. Oh, and back to your hearts. Blessed be. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lila, and today I'm so honored to have my sister here, all the way from Paris, France. She's in the back row, and I wanted her to see me in action. So I'm going to be sharing my love for the Divine Feminine through a song, and I'm going to be utilizing an instrument that I donated to the church myself, and it's right here near the drum, so bear with me. And I'm going to use the wall so that I'm sturdy and I'm able to be heard, and I can focus on singing and shaking the rattle. So I'll be singing a song for you. This is a pagan chant, and since we just honored, the sacredness of the land, I wanted to share a song that's very sacred in my heart. And some of you may know it, and once you feel comfortable, please join us and sing with me. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. Hey yana ho yana, hey yang yang. Hey yana ho yana, hey yang yang. Her sacred ground we walk upon. With every step we take, her sacred ground we walk upon. With every step we take. Hey yana ho yana, hey yan yan. Hey yana ho yana, hey yang yang. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. Hey yana ho yana, hey yang yang. Hey yana ho yana, hey yang yang. Her sacred ground we walk upon. With every step we take, her sacred ground we walk upon. With every step we take. Hey yana ho yana, hey yang yang. Hey yana ho yana, hey yang yang. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. The earth is our mother, we must take care of her. Hey yana ho yana, hey yang yang. 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 We are all connected to Mother Earth. She is in our hearts, she is in our minds, and definitely in our soul. Thank you for being present. So mote it be. Aho. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Lila. That was beautiful. And now we have one more song from Phil and Birgit before we get to our master speaker.
Not sure how this works with the sweater on. This is a combination. We're in Scandinavian country here, so we're doing some Scandinavian music today. This is a combination Swedish Yanka. Swedish is Swedish, Yanka is Finnish. It's a smooth Swedish, so a smooth Yanka. There's different forms of it. I gotta find my bass here. Okay. Okay. Okay.
My dear friends, once again, a very, very heartfelt welcome to you. Let's do this chant of Allahu Allah, praising God, knowing that when we praise God, God doesn't become holy, we become holy. But the Bryce, this is working, right? You're getting, okay, terrific, okay. Okay, my dear friends. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Just the beloved women. Just the beloved men. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Once softly. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. Twice aloud. Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah, Allahu Allah. And becoming very still, allowing those beautiful vibrations to perfume our hearts, as the mystics say. Okay, my dear friends, the topic is inclusivity. And I wanted to tell you that this one word, inclusivity, was specially you might say, illuminated post 9/11. How can we really be more inclusive, not only accept, acknowledge, honor, but celebrate diversity? Some of you know that I've been working with a rabbi and a pastor we call the Interfaith Amigos. Oh, I had some books here for propaganda. What happened? Oh. So we traveled the country for years and asking people, what do you think about inclusivity? How do we foster, embrace, embody inclusivity? And from that, this is the propaganda part, 3 books emerged. With the three Interfaith Amigos, getting to the heart of interfaith, religion gone astray, and then the last one, I thought very important one, finding peace through spiritual practice. The point was, when we asked about inclusivity, people started telling us, especially young people, that the institution of religion has so many problems, so many issues. And we said, what are they? And they said, number one, the very biggest one, this is both by young people and much older people who have had this life experiences, traveling all over the country, doing missionary work. They said the biggest problem is exclusivity. What's the second one that we asked? And after a few years of research, we found the second one was, how come every single holy book has violence in its scripture? So much of violence. I don't care which scripture it is. Number 3, unequal status of women in every holy book. The fourth one, homophobia. And the fifth one, apathy or indifference towards, what we really talk about all the time, social justice issues, earth care. So let's go back to the first one, because we're talking about inclusivity. They said, sure, if you want to talk about inclusivity, talk about exclusivity. Chosen people, the only way, the Quran is a superior book. How do we overcome that? How can we say that in the Constitution it says we are all created equal if there is this discrimination, spiritual discrimination in almost all the holy books, really? So what is the answer? What is the antidote? And again, the young people told us 2 things. One is getting to know the other on a human level. No matter what the polarization is, religious, political, cultural, racial, how can I create the environment where I can connect with the other on a human level? And incidentally, these 2 verses from the Quran after 9/11 became very popular. Doesn't matter what your religion or no religion. And what were those 2 verses from the Quran that even Muslims were not aware of? Because there wasn't too much, we call tasfir, too much commentary on that. One verse was that, God has created diversity for one primary reason. And what is that one primary reason? That you might come to know the other on a human level. Another verse, a tongue-in-cheek verse in the Quran, Allah says in the Quran that God has created some of you to be a trial for others. It was not meant to be easy. It was not meant to be easy. And you don't have to go look into religion or travel very far. Look at your own extended family. So what is the beauty of getting to know the other? See, if you get to know the other on a human level, which, by the way, this is what really endeared the Interfaith Amigos to audiences wherever we went, is that we really became authentic, genuine friends. And once you become friends, no matter what the difference is, whether it's an issue of abortion, issue of race differences, political differences, if you really connect on a human level, no matter what the difference is, it becomes almost impossible to demonize or demean the other. In spite of all the differences between me and Rabbi Ted Falcon about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, for example. It was difficult to demean or dehumanize. And what is most interesting is, we found from our research that if you do this work of getting to know the other on a human level, it requires persistence, it requires humility, it requires sincerity. If we do that, what happens is it allows for opportunities for collaborative work. Doesn't matter what our difference is. Collaborative work on social justice projects and earth care. So just be with that. This insight. And by the way, the one story we found in every town hall we went to, university, seminary, was the same joke about exclusivity. Whether it's from Islam or Hinduism. What is the joke? God, you've heard it. God comes down and reveals certain basic truths to some people, but then the devil comes along and says, let me organize that for you. And that becomes religion. Same story we found in all the different places we went to. Okay, so then the other point that was pointed out to us again and again and again is that every holy book has, doesn't matter, I don't care which holy book it is, has wonderful, universal, timeless, placeless verses, but also difficult verses. And all of us are doing all kinds of, including myself, mental gymnastic, distorted posturings to explain away. What does it really mean? Give it historical context, give it textual context. Even if you do that, it's still, the verses are very, very awkward. Now, we ran into a lot of opposition from my fellow Muslims and fellow Christians, Jews, others saying, hey, my revelations are divine. So then we quoted Gandhi, who would say, yes, I believe that your revelations are divine, but don't forget one thing. The human mind is less than divine. And when the mind touches a divine verse, the understanding can be less than divine. Or the words of Rumi we quoted all the time, that's 13th century Rumi, a bee and a wasp, they drink from the same flower. A bee and a wasp, they drink from the same flower. One produces nectar, other one produces a sting. If you really understand that, says Rumi, you'll realize that, Jamal, your interpretation, your understanding of a holy text, no matter how divine, is a function, is a reflection of your consciousness. How advanced are you in your enlightenment? Are you awake? Okay, just be with that. Ask yourself, how do I interpret my verses in my holy book? Or if you have no holy book, in my understanding of what life is about. It is a function of the level of my consciousness. Just be with that for a few moments. Okay, moving on. So it is critical, and this is what this book is for us so important, that it doesn't matter whether you have a religion or what's your religion or you don't have a religion. The critical need for practices, call it spiritual practices, psychological, physiological, whatever you call it. You've got to do practices, Brother Jamal, you've got to do practices to become a more complete, developed human being. More Christ-like, Buddha-like, Elohim-like, Krishna-like, Allah-like. Which means that, Brother Jamal, you've got to do the work of taming your ego, transforming your ego from a commanding master into a personal assistant. It requires a lot of work. You've got to, Brother Jamal, you've got to purify your heart. You've got to open your heart. Cultivate an inner spaciousness. How else can you be more inclusive? You know, I love this insight from, the first one is from Zen Buddhism. Jamal, there is no need to seek the truth. There is no need to seek the truth. There's no need to seek the truth. Only stop cherishing opinions and judgments. Only cease cherishing opinions and judgments. Rumi says, there is no need to seek love. You are love. There is no need to search, to seek love. Only, see that the other realms agree, brother. Yeah. There is no need to seek love. That's a message there. So what do you have to do? Rumi says, simply become aware of the obstacles and inhibitions you have put on the path of love. Become aware of the obstacles and inhibitions you have put on the path of love. But requires inner work. Prophet Muhammad said, every nanosecond, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, you're either nourishing, ennobling, enriching your soul, or diminishing your soul by the choices you're making every nanosecond. By the choices you're making. So my question for myself and for you is, what are my conditioned biases in life? What are my conditioned biases? We all have them. Which is why I love that story of a well frog, a frog who has spent most of his or her life in the well, who gets visited by his cousin, the ocean frog. And the ocean frog tells the well frog, you know, the ocean is so beautiful. And the well frog says, it's beautiful, but how big is it? Oh, it's vast, it's huge, says the ocean frog. So the well frog says, are you telling me it's half the size of the well? Much more, much more. 3/4? Much more, much more. The entire length? More. Impossible, says the well frog. So somehow the ocean frog gets the well frog out of the well and takes the well frog to the ocean. And when the well frog sees the ocean, his brain explodes. It's a bit violent, but there's a teaching here. The teaching is, even you have to overcome your conditioned biases, do it little by little. It can be too much. So if I'm trying to explain to a Trump supporter or a Biden supporter, do it little by little. Don't jump immediately into your profound explanations. Okay, so now the question from me and you is, am I aware of my conditioned biases? Just think about it. What are my biases in my life? We all have them, and it's okay. That's why I'm here on planet Earth, to overcome them. I'll be quiet. Just be with that for a few moments. Okay, my friends, now I'm looking at the time. Let me just talk about what are some things we have done in terms of inclusivity in Interfaith Community Sanctuary. The first one I would say is we have really cultivated what is actually emerging in the West, a new kind of congregant. And what is a new kind of congregants, I should say? It's diversity. Young people, older people who have a lot of experience are tired of tribalism. And what is beautiful about our congregants is that we have different kinds of congregants, which is what is emerging in America. So for example, I am someone who is rooted in Islam, but I'm open to the beauty and wisdom of other traditions. And by me being open to the beauty and wisdom of other traditions, I find that this waters my Islamic roots and makes me a better human being, a more complete human being. Which is why we say interfaith is not about conversion. Interfaith is about completion, becoming a more developed, complete human being. And you've heard this many times, that famous, what's his full name? Dr. Smith. I think I got his name right. He's passed away. One of the most famous professors of comparative religion, who says, it's like this. You can look at the Quran from one angle, you get some insights. But if you study other traditions, you begin to look at the same Quran from different angles also, you get a more complete understanding. Okay, that's one kind of person, of congregant we have. Another one like Ann Holmes Redding, who's an Episcopalian priest, who's a Christian, but is also a Muslim. Multiple belonging. Is that possible? Multiple belonging, to be a Jew and a Hindu? Or is that possible? Yes. So when she's asked, she says, it's like a mother having two children. You can love both children equally. Then, of course, we have atheists, agnostics, secular humanists, Wiccans, pagans. But the largest group which is emerging in the West is what? Spiritual but not religious. None of the above. Or as the Ramakrishna, that 19th century sage would say, a bee collecting nectar from different flowers. So just be with that. That is something we have cultivated here. We have a diversity of congregants. The second, I would say the big, for us, the inclusivity is really becoming aware of the need to honor where we are right now, the land, the ancestors, our heritage, the indigenous people. Did you know that when we came here, this place was given to us for free, for which we are so deeply grateful. The minister who was here, one of the ministers, Reverend Deborah, she's Native American, and she said she was not allowed to do any Native American practices. And I was surprised. I did some research. The potlatch was banned in America till 1951. I was so shocked to read that. So we said, when she said, can I do Native American practices? We said, do. We would encourage it. We would be grateful. And Lauren Boucher, I think Chris mentioned Lauren Boucher. Since the beginning, she has been doing at least twice a week programs, Native American programs. So I feel very, very, very exhilarated about that. Then divine feminine. By the way, I'm thinking of Don McKenzie, 6'2" Don McKenzie. He's a real feminist. Real feminist. He says, he quotes this, I forget the name of this person, 1986, who said, what is feminism? Feminism is the radical notion that women are people. Sorry, you're saying something, Laila? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. So we really want to cultivate divine feminine. We used to have once a month, like a Sunday service on divine feminine. Then we decided, and this is how everything evolved little by little, let's have divine feminine at every single service. Then I think it was Laila who first started really including in our Sunday service honoring animals. I think you did a program with dogs and cats, I forget. But honoring animals, I mean, they're a part. If we say we are, if a Muslim says every so way you turn is the face of Allah, animals is part of our family. Which means that Brother Jamal, and this is a very important part, which people have asked me again and again, Jamal, you say those lovely things, but are you aware what happens to animals in laboratories, in zoos, in slaughterhouses. I love that song of the Beatle, or a writing of the Beatle, who said, if the walls of slaughterhouses were made out of glass, if the walls of slaughterhouses were made out of glass, we would all be vegetarians. I've been to the Midwest with my Interfaith Amigos and approached some of those slaughterhouses. We couldn't go inside even. But it was enough for me to give up eating beef, at least. I'm not advocating anything, but I'm saying, let's be aware. We can say wonderful things about animals, but are we really connecting with the pain that's being inflicted on them? You know, by the way, whenever I talk about this one particular example, and I should say it because it's an important example of university research of feeding rabbits in cages with very high cholesterol food to find out what effect it has on their heart. But there was one rabbit that was unaffected by it. Heart was healthy, but all the other ones had deteriorated. How is this possible? So then they investigated. Turned out that the young girl who was feeding would take time to take this one particular rabbit out and fed it the same food, but would pet it and love it. So that vibration of love made such a difference. But what I wanted to say was, and forgive me for saying it for somebody who might be angry, I get emails saying, Jamal, I wish you never said that. It pains me so much to hear what we are doing to animals. So I apologize for that, but a very important point of the incredible impact the vibrations of compassion, of love can create in the healing of our fellow beings, which includes animals. Okay, I should bring it to an end. What I'm particularly excited about in our community, we've been here since 1996, 97, and in the beginning, we used to connect so much with people who would come to us in big numbers feeling depressed. And so we had a term for it. We used to appoint people in the late 1990s, calling them professional naggers. What do I mean by that? Let's say I'm the person who is depressed. I would request a few people to be professional naggers who would nag them to go for walks, to go out for coffee, to go out here, because that person would not want to go. They're in a state of depression. You've nagged them, forced them, and once they start walking, going here, there, guess what? Everything changes. And we have had great success and some failures too, which the family has told me I can mention the name because it's a big lesson. Paula Holden. You remember her, Sally Jo? 10 years of professional naggers. She did well, but then she deteriorated. Over 100 electric shocks, University of Washington. And then one day, to my utter sorrow, she walked right into the waters and did not come out of it deliberately. She took her life. Anyway, it was, her family told me, Jamal, please, please, please don't see this as a failure. The work that you have done with these professional naggers has kept her alive and kept her happy for 10 long years. But it gave me a deep understanding of, my goodness, I have I might say beautiful things about the suffering of those who are in depression, but I have no inkling of the pain they really feel deep, 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 deep inside of them. So be very gentle. But most of all, I thought I was patient. I realized working with her, I was not patient. Be patient, be patient, be patient. We've had wonderful success with those who are lonely. We have paired them up with people, at least in the beginning of 2000 and before 2000, with people who would connect with them, with whom they had a kinship of spirit and their loneliness disappeared. By the way, it's not a dating service. It's like, that's spiritual kinship of service connection. And that really, really worked. And the third category I'm very happy about, we have done well, is really including those people who have been very unwell physically. Some of who have died. and some people in particular have really, really worked with them. I keep turning to Sally Jo because a couple of people before they died, they told me how much you have helped them. And I don't mean this just to please you, by spending night after night after night after night with those people, when even families and friends get so tired. And these people, who in the last stage of their lives can have wonderful attention during the daytime, but at night time when they have to sleep at 4 in the morning to get up to go to the restroom, or they can't even get up, it's very difficult to help them. But who will do that? So I'm glad people from our community have really, really done that. Okay, last thing I want to say is all this by way of saying that I would love for you to be involved in a program called Amazing Faith. Because this year, the ministerial group has decided we'll do this program of dinner with others or brunch with others, which is based on the incredible benefits you can get by listening to the other who is polarized and by connecting with the other on a human level. And this was started by Rice University in Texas, and it took off in a viral way, and then now it is dying out. We want to revive it. And what is it? People from different traditions get together, or different political views get together. There's a stack of personal questions, number of them, and each one, the people take turns taking a card out of that stack. It could be, was there a time in your life you forgave somebody? A personal question. How did it feel? And why is that important? I have 3 minutes to speak. But why is it so valuable? Because the next person will be taking out another card which has a different question. So the other people are all listening. And because the questions are personal, we're connecting on a human level. Anyhow, so we have connected with 5 houses of worship, talked to them, bonded with them, and we shall have wonderful programs of dinner with others, brunch with others, connecting on a human level, listening to the other, doing this program in the year of 2025. Okay, that's the end of my babble here. Become very still. I believe it's time for meditation, am I right? Okay. I'll keep it a short meditation. Please close your eyes. Then focus on your nostril and be present with your breath as you inhale and as you exhale. Just this much. And now, letting go of this. And this time, focusing on the lowest part of your spine, the sacrum area. And then making an intention. Intention equals action in the subtle realms. An intention to send a beautiful cord of divine light. A beautiful cord of divine light, any color, from the sacrum area going down. Way down, deep, deep, deep into Mother Earth. Connecting us, bonding us with the womb of Mother Earth, feeling connected. Letting go of this, and this time focusing on the crown of the head and intending to send a beautiful cord of divine light, any color, from the crown of the head upwards, way up, higher, higher, even higher, connecting us to the realm of mystery. To divinity. And now letting go of that, and this time focusing on the heart. The heart is a very special organ. There's a beautiful revelation from divinity which says, divinity says to humanity, I cannot be contained in the space of the earth. I cannot be contained in the space of the heavens, but I can be contained in the space of the pure, loving heart. Ah, the space of the heart is infinite. It contains unbounded, eternal, limitless love, compassion, healing, empowerment. It's a wellspring of eternal love. Because spirit is outside of us, but also inside of us, in our heart. So now the last step is, please focus on the heart and intend to send light and love pouring out of the heart. Remember, divinity is inside your heart. The space is boundless, eternal spring of love, compassion, beauty, healing. So simply focusing on the heart, making an intention to pour out, radiate light and love. Try it, please. And please remember, the more light and love we pour out, the more light and love we become filled up with. It's a law, ancient and inexhaustible. And the great sages say, Brother Jamal, please practice this in your meditation. Practice what? Focusing on the heart and pouring out light and love. In your meditation, also in your waking hours, it could change your life. For a few more seconds, pour out light and love from the heart, making this a habit. The more I pour out, the more I become filled up with. Let's chant together, Bismillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallahu. La ilaha illallahu. One more time. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallahu. La ilaha illallahu. Oh, good. We have music by Phil and Birgit. Hey, okay.
Just to show that we do music from all over Europe. This is a Ukrainian waltz. I ran a benefit concert couple of years in a row, and this is one of the tunes we used for the.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Phil and Birgit, for your wonderful, uplifting music, soulful music. Thank you.
Yeah.
So this is the time in our service where we ask for each other to contribute back to the community through our donations. And this is what will pay for the furnace when it gets fixed later this week. I mean, not just this, but we've been collecting all along and saving money for just this kind of an occasion, which does happen, as you might have noticed. And so these are the kinds of things that we have to be very, if you can just hold on to the plate and maybe pass it. These are the kinds of things that we appreciate having the long-standing fiscal stewards who give every month online. Many people give through our website, www.interfaithcommunitysanctuary.org, where you can give a one-time donation, a monthly donation, whatever your heart says to you. And we are deeply grateful for being able to keep the lights on and the electricity going. And I remember George saying to me when the furnace went out, "Sally Jo, did you pay the gas bill?" I'm like, "Yes, I paid the gas." I looked it up, though, because I thought, well, gosh, I hope I didn't. And sure enough, on January 17th, I paid the gas bill, so that's not the problem. Yeah. Lila?
I want to find out, do we have an estimation of what the cost will be?
I think they did, not really. They have to see what the problem is. The problem could be in the thermostat, it could be in the pilot light, it could be in the furnace. I mean, they're coming out here will cost us something. We didn't beg them, well, we did beg them to come out on Saturday, but we were kind of relieved when they said they couldn't, because that would have been about twice as much to come out on a weekend. And this is a long weekend. So we said Tuesday's fine, we'll get through today. We have a very staunch and strong community. We will bundle up and get through this. But the truth is, we were a little bit relieved that they would come on a regular day and give us the regular price, and then we'll find out when they discover what the problem is. We do keep a special account for building emergencies such as that. And by the way, this is another winter where the rain and the snow could also cause us more flooding. We're watching that very carefully. Many of you know we had this whole floor flooded twice, 2 different years, and had to be replaced. We're hoping that won't happen again, and we're monitoring it closely. And Zach and Pony are doing a very good job of monitoring the wells that we dug and made sure that everything's under control. But it does take stewardship, and we're deeply grateful for all that you can do. And so we will thank Allah for providing us with all that we need to keep this community together and running. We appreciate all your efforts. We also want to go through a few announcements. And Jamal, you have the flyers for the Bengali dinner. I want to start with that. We were talking about, he was talking about dinners earlier, and I was getting hungry. When you're down here, you smell that food coming in, right? I made a casserole. There's some hot food coming. There's a millet vegetable casserole coming for everybody who doesn't want to eat meat, but it does have milk product in it. It has some cheese in it. But there's another dinner coming up, and this is a dinner with other people who are supporting the SAMC, the Suraya Attar Medical Clinic in Bangladesh, in the home ancestral village of Aisu Rahman, who's Jamal's sister. Jamal, his brother and sister, and their parents were from a rural area in Bangladesh, and they have started, and we all have supported a medical clinic for over 10 years now. It opened in January of 2014. That was the year I went to Bangladesh to be at the opening of the clinic, but the country was in crisis then, as it is now, in political crisis, and we couldn't leave the capital, we couldn't leave Dhaka, and we couldn't even travel to the clinic and for the opening because the presidential elections were happening on New Year's Day that year. Bad timing. Anyway, I never did get to see the clinic myself, but others from our community have gone and have visited. And of course, Dr. Aisu Rahman, Jamal's sister, visits regularly several times a year and is the head of the operations there from afar. She lives here. And she has a full staff of Bengali doctors, nurses, practitioners, office manager, and they run this clinic. And it's a clinic mainly focusing on issues of women and children and basic health, and there are women doctors, and we're expanding the clinic. It's now that it's 10 years old, we're expanding not only physically the building and making it so that we can have an eye clinic and other wonderful things. At this dinner, you'll hear more about the plans. And the family members, Jamal's family has a big extended family. Many of you have met many of his relatives. And his brother, Kamal, is in Bangladesh now. We'll be coming back for the dinner, right? I hear he'll be back the night before the dinner is happening. The dinner is happening at the Unity of Linwood. And we're having, it's being catered by the South Asian restaurant Tikka Masala, and who have provided our food for several years now. We've been doing this dinner for many years, although during COVID, we had to stop it for a while. But we did have it last year. We're having it again, but we're having it at Unity of Linwood. This is a larger space, a beautiful space, and seats much more people. And that is the time when you will hear from Isu and Jamal and Kamal and all the people who are involved in the clinic, including the young people. Isu's children have now grown up, and they're taking over a lot of the operation and the research and the interest in developing the clinic, and they will speak to us about their plans. And we will be raising money at that dinner as well. So tickets, there's a QR code here. We do charge for the dinner because we pay for the food, but we try to keep it reasonable. $40 for adult, $20 for children under 12. And we do hope that you'll come and just have a great time. There'll be entertainment, there'll be food, there'll be community, and we'll hear a lot about what's going on at the clinic. We do this once a year, so it's a great time. Oh, right. Yeah, Emerson. Oh, yeah, Emerson will be there, and there'll be lots of fun. So there are flyers here if you want to keep the information close at hand. I've also sent out some announcements over email. It's on the website. Yes, it's on our website as a special event. And then, because it's not happening here, please don't come here for it. You'll find an empty building. We don't want that to happen. This is on February 1st, by the way, which is a Saturday at 6 p.m. I forgot to... February 1st. Also, next Sunday is another special Sunday. We hope to be meeting back upstairs. Fingers crossed. They're going to find just a little problem in our furnace. And this is the fourth Sunday in 2025. I have been asked by the Guiding Council and the congregation to lead the fourth Sunday services. George Ramirez was doing it for the whole last year, did a beautiful job running that fourth Sunday. But he had asked that I take that over, and others asked me to come. And I'm sharing that fourth Sunday with a different congregant every month, a congregant who has some kind of spiritual practice or interest that they would be able to share with the rest of us. Kind of like we do our guest speaker on the first Sunday where we bring people from other communities to share. So on the fourth Sunday, we're going to contemplate our discernment through the practices and the wisdom and the beautiful life of our own congregants who have much to offer. So next Sunday, Gretchen Rowe, who is our director of Peace Camp International, which takes place right in this room, and I've been thinking a lot about Peace Camp as I sit down here, because this room reminds me of Peace Camp. Every summer, this room becomes a playground, and literally the whole outside of the building becomes a playground for multi-age children from all races, cultures, denominations, ages 4 to 16, 18, really. And young people are the counselors, and we have counselors from India and Uganda, and we've had counselors from Japan and other places as well. And Gretchen and a couple of her people who work with her are going to present their service next Sunday and talk about how we focus on inclusivity and belonging during Peace Camp International, which takes place 3 to 4 weeks every summer for many, many years. She did it all the way through COVID. In fact, she was online with COVID, and I remember helping her with that, and that was difficult to keep kids engaged during COVID. This is when they weren't even in school, and she kept the summer program going, and so she's going to be sharing that with us next week. So join us next week to hear about Gretchen Rowe and Peace Camp International. Yes, and proud mother of Bryce. And again, Emerson was part of Peace Camp during its first couple of years, and he will be doing some music for the service next Sunday as well. So join us for that. And there are other events that happen throughout the week. During the course of the week here, they go out in the announcement that goes out every Monday, the upcoming events, and they're on the website. We have our calendar up on the website now. So if you like, to come, there's a Thursday meditation group at 7 o'clock. They meet upstairs. There's the Sisiwa Circle that Jamal was talking about, the Women's Medical Circle that meets on Wednesdays. They're sometimes online, sometimes in person. So you need to check and see which week it is. And same with A Course in Miracles, which meets twice a month online, twice a month in person. So rather than tell you this and have you forget it, look it up online at interfaithcommunitysanctuary.org, and you'll get the announcement if you're on our mailing list. So we'd love to have you join us for all those different occasions. And as far as any other special events, am I missing anything, Jamal?
It's on the website.
Yeah. That's our fallback. And we're very, oh, by the way, you'll meet Chiaki next week, who is our webmaster now, the person who publishes everything on our website, and she is also part of Peace Camp International. So we have everything connected. You'll meet Chiaki next week if you come to the Sunday service. And many of you have heard her name, and we email her a lot with a lot of things we have to ask her to do. But she's a wonderful, beautiful person, and I think you'll enjoy meeting her. So I think that kind of brings us to an end of the general service, and we'll have our Sharing the Heart.
Yeah, very, very briefly, yes. Thank you so much, Sally Jo. People have been sitting on these hard chairs, and you've all been spoiled by sitting on the cushiony chairs upstairs, so we'll make it very, very brief.
We do have food after the show.
Yes, oh yeah, please don't go away. We have... Oh yeah. At this late stage, if you want a cushion, it's all out there. Yeah. So I think we'll close. We'll say goodbye, sayonara.